Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III.
Thank you. Good morning. Secretary Laila de Lima, Mr. Kazuyuki Sugimoto, Dr. Yu Ching Sing, Mr. Rod Sims, Mr. Mohamed Nawir Messi, Mr. Mungwan Bak, delegates from the East Asia economies, participants from the various sector regulators, the academia, and the business community, fellow workers, government, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Over the years, more than a few commentators and intellectuals claim that perhaps the Asian psyche is attuned to a more rigorously structured paternal system. They have said that Western-style democracy is too messy, and that Asians thrive more when they have a strong father figure telling them what to do. In recent history, we have borne witness to this phenomenon several times. Many countries have had strongman rulers, some of whom were good, and many of whom were not, which is perhaps what one could naturally expect of a system where a single person decides on anything and everything all the time. Less than 30 years ago, the Philippines was under such a system. It led to experiments like crony capitalism, which allowed monopolies to be granted to certain companies and worse, to single families. We saw the dictator basically grab and distribute control of entire industries. We saw legal restrictions to competitions passed for no other reason than patronage, done under the guise of causes such as nationalism. As a student of economics, I know that monopolies are incredibly inefficient. It kills innovation. There is zero impetus in a monopoly to continually improve your product or your service simply because you have your market cornered. True, the protected environment means the monopolizing company will flourish in the short term. The profits may even be astronomical, but it guarantees against a level playing field where competition can bring out the best in companies and in people. It also means that your industries will be ill-equipped when the time comes that they actually have to compete. In a world that is becoming increasingly globalized, the lack of a healthy competitive landscape is simply untenable and could spell any country's economic doom. This is precisely why this conference is timely. All of you are gathered here to talk about what can be done to create a fair, level playing field. All of you here are in some way subscribed to the idea that true inclusive economic growth can only be achieved by pursuing a healthy competitive environment, one that stokes the natural human drive to compete, to work hard, to innovate, and to create something of worth. The administration is of the same mind, and since you will be spending the next few days talking about competition law and policy, perhaps I can share some of what we have done to create a business environment conducive to competition. To begin with, we established the National Competitiveness Council, chaired by the Department of Trade and Industry, to monitor our competitiveness policies. And I'm proud to say that they have been integral in our 20-place jump in the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Index from 85th place in 2010 to 65th in 2012. We also realize that whatever competition law we have must be implemented efficiently. This is why, as many of you may know, in June of 2011, I signed Executive Order 45, establishing the Department of Justice's Office for Competition, which organized this event. Apart from promoting regional and international cooperation, the office is tasked specifically to investigate and prosecute all violations of competition laws, enforce competition policies and laws to protect consumers, supervise competition and promote transparency and accountability in markets, and undertake studies and reports to guide the industry and consumers. From the beginning, we have also made it easier for companies to set up shop here. After all, the success of a business should not be dictated solely by one's adeptness at navigating the bureaucratic maze. Instead, investors should be able to focus on delivering a quality product or service for a reasonable price. This is why our administration has been cutting bureaucratic red tape, and this has brought us great success. Under our watch, we have reduced the time it takes to start a business from 36 days to just 11 days, as well as the time it takes to register property from 39 days to 23 days. We have also made the processes for paying taxes faster, reducing the time it takes from 47 days to 14 days. And the work does not end here. Moving forward, we will strive to make the processes even more efficient so that we may shorten the time frame very much further. You may have also heard that we have liberalized aviation, allowing new local and foreign carriers such as Air and Jin Air to set up shop here and compete, in turn boosting the performance of our tourism industry. We also passed the Common Carriers Tax Law, which will exempt all international air and shipping carriers from paying the 3% Common Carriers Tax on receipts and income derived from transporting passengers. They will also be exempted from the gross Philippine billings tax derived from carrying passengers so long as their home countries grant the Philippines the same exemption. These policies, among others, makes it clear the Philippine government and the Filipino people are fully committed to fostering a level playing field. We are doing this because it is one of the most critical pathways to economic growth. We are doing this because we know our entrepreneurs and our workforce have the work ethic and the creativity to succeed in any environment. Indeed, competition is vital to the growth of any nation. In fact, it is vital to the growth of the world economy and even to the technological breakthroughs that have time and again pushed human civilization into its next great age. And the discussions you will be having here will be essential in continuing that tradition of growth. And I am hopeful that you will take the time to share your ideas and to listen to the ideas of others, all with a vision of how we can best improve Asia's and the world's competitive landscape. Thank you, and I wish all of you a pleasant stay in the Philippines. Good day.